Hey, what's up? This is Richie Martinez from Arch Echo, and you are listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast. I am Bruce.
And apparently I'm going second again and making Kris feel bad, but this is Riina from Silentium joining you to do this podcast again and again and again.
My name is Kris, and I'm back for another round of the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Wow, that was crazy.
In the end, you turned British somehow.
It's because I've been watching the show Lucifer on Netflix.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they call him Lucy.
Nice. Anyway, today we're going to be talking with... I'm just going to let that go. I have no idea what you're even talking about. But today we're going to be chatting with Richie from Arch Echo.
Arch Echo.
I'm going to say Arch. You say whatever you want to say. Because isn't it Arch Enemy?
Well, this is true.
I mean, do you say Arch Enemy?
Well, we're going to ask them. We'll get them to clarify it.
But either way, I think these guys are a bunch of Berkeley dudes, and so there's some really good playing on
I
here.
was just listening to the song on their webpage entitled To the Moon, and holy fuck, they can play their asses off.
So this will be a great one. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go ahead and grab them.
Okay.
I'm Bruce. I got my partner Riina from Finland on the line, and my partner Kris.
Oh.
So for those not familiar with, I'm going to say it's Arch Echo. My illiterate partner is going to say Arch Echo. Can you solve that for us first? Arch, right? Like arch enemy, arch nemesis.
Right. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
Arch Echo. Are we currently live?
Yeah, no, we're taping.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, all right, cool. Awesome. Well, hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Sorry that you had to hear me about my computer problems.
That's no worries at all. We can edit out all kinds of things, so we're good. But for those not familiar with Arch Echo, did you hear that, Kris?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the band? Like maybe give us a two-sentence boardroom pitch?
Yeah, for sure. So Arch Echo is the culmination of 5 music nerds. Hey, only I'm allowed to say that, by the way. Y'all don't be calling us nerds, right? No, it's a culmination of 5 music fans. And seriously, everybody in the band individually really enjoys their instrument. Everybody is extremely skillful. Like I'm so grateful to be a part of a band where the guys are intelligent human beings and they're really talented and skilled. So Arch Echo is essentially a group of 5 guys who are extremely passionate about creating music, about developing their skill set, and pushing forward and being innovative. And that's pretty much it. It's a passion project that just became a thing that people listen to, which is really, really, really enjoyable, and that makes me happy. That's like the 20-second spiel.
No, that's cool. I noticed that some of you guys maybe all of you guys are Berkeley guys. So there's a lot of talent going on in the band.
Yeah. I'm the only one that didn't go to Berkeley. So the other guys, they studied there and they met there. And so I essentially around the same time I was doing live shows and things like that in Houston. So I skipped the whole school thing and just tried to go straight to playing gigs. And we ended up meeting each other in Nashville through Adam Bentley. And yeah, those guys are freaking crazy. They're smart boys.
That's pretty fabulous.
You know,
Riina?
often people think about Nashville as a country music town only, but it definitely isn't, is it?
Well, it's growing at a significant rate, which is really cool. I mean, obviously COVID ruined everything for everyone, but the cool thing about Nashville, man, is it is becoming diverse. It is obviously run by country music. It's just like the biggest thing there. But dude, you get some really cool pop artists that come out of there. The songwriting community and the songwriting field is massive in Nashville. So if you're a songwriter, it doesn't matter what you do. You go there, you're going to connect with some amazing musicians and writers. And Nashville is great for all kinds of stuff. It really is.
Is there like a big collaboration culture there?
Yeah, so that can be interesting. Well, firstly, Arch Echo is independent. So it depends on whether you are with a label or whether you're an independent artist. I have plenty of friends that collaborate with other artists in songwriting. And if you do have a deal with a label under songwriting, then they kind of prefer that you stick with other songwriters under that label. Otherwise, otherwise, if you're independent, man, so many people will meet up at coffee shops and then trade ideas and all kinds of cool stuff like that. And that's specifically for like the pop and rock or contemporary music scene, for sure.
Right. Interesting. I have a friend living up in the neck of those woods. My girl Carrie, who used to live with me in Finland.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Then, the winter was too much. She went back to the land where there's sunshine throughout the year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is she a musician as well?
No, she was more of a follower of music. She did come here to sort of live and breathe the Finnish rock and roll and heavy metal scene. But that's really interesting what you say about that the labels don't want you to collaborate with independent artists. Do the bands actually abide by that wish? Because I know I fucking wouldn't.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, if you think about it, that was specifically regarding anyone with a publishing deal, right? So if you're a songwriter under a label, they're going to prefer that you write with their artists. Just like if you're endorsed with Fender's going to prefer that you make videos with other Fender artists and not because it's at the end of the day, that's how they make their money. It's their part of their business model. So, and as bands, I don't necessarily know how bands do it. Like I said, Arch Echo is independent, so we don't ever come across that issue, which is nice, right? It's great that we can write with whoever we'd like and kind of communicate and share ideas with whomever. Without getting into the sticky business of that. So fortunately, from my personal experience, I haven't had to deal with whatever that could entail. But I would be assuming, I would assume rather that it would be frowned upon if you're under contract to write with people that aren't under the same kind of contractual obligation. But I don't think, what is interesting, I don't think that they would, I don't know. It depends on the contract, like I said, but maybe you could write with other people. I don't know. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah, cool.
What are you guys doing, or are you doing anything differently as a band during this COVID time, or how are you managing it all? So
it's been an interesting time for everyone, I'd be willing to say. What we have, for us, nothing really has changed, minus the fact that we don't tour, right? So, it's a bummer that a lot of our friends, including ourselves, are not traveling and playing music, and that's what we love. We thrive off that. But we've always, since the inception of the band, been extremely on top of creating content, and it's because that's what we like to do. Like myself, personally speaking, I started my social media presence quite a few years ago. And that's something that I naturally gravitate to. And each individual member has something that they naturally gravitate to. And it just so happens that a lot of us in the band enjoy gravitating towards content creation. So it hasn't necessarily been a huge hurdle. So one thing that we do already have as part of our repertoire is content creation, whether that's social media or live streaming or, creating new merch. We've had a great opportunity during this downtime to come up with cool new merch ideas and new designs and all that stuff. So fortunately, even though touring isn't a thing, we can still exist in the ecosystem of internet music because we are already on top of our individual brands. Joe and Joey. Joe, I'll say Joe does TV and he does songwriting for TV and film and things like that. So luckily he's already naturally good at all that kind of writing aspect. Joey is working with a really well-known YouTube creator by the name of 10 Second Songs. And so he's on top of doing content there. Adam Bentley mixes like an absolute genius. So he's in contact with a whole bunch of other guys. The content is constantly out and about, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are on top of your stuff way better than most of us.
Well, we try to be diligent, and I think that's the reason why I was so I've been so proud of everybody in the band because we are diligent in making sure. I mean, there's so many things that we're always trying to get better at, but we are on top of trying to keep things moving forward, you know?
Yeah, clearly, like, you know, all of you guys pulled your weight, and it, like, you know, it does help, because, like, if you have just the one sort of band leader who is, like, super stressed out, like, trying to handle social media, negotiations with the label, deal with the, like, you know, touring and management side, it's gonna like put pressure into the band as well. So it sounds like you guys have a really good, like, sharing of responsibility in your band.
Yeah, that's fair to say for sure. I mean, we enjoy it, or some of us enjoy it more than others. That's true, right? Like, even within the band. But yeah, that's definitely a good point.
Nice.
Awesome, Kris.
I don't have anything else. I really appreciate you taking the time with us today. And good luck with your computer, by the way.
Awesome. Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
If you before we go though, if fans want to find you guys, I know you said you're pretty active social media, doing all that stuff.
It was a fun chat.
It was, but before you go, I know you said you're very active in Facebook and social media. Where would fans be able to find you if they wanted to check out Arch Echo?
They could, Instagram, Arch Echo Band, Facebook. Luckily, we've kept everything the same name, which is nice. Those handles aren't always available. Instagram, Arch Echo Band, Facebook, Arch Echo Band, YouTube. Everything's under Arch Echo. So you just type that in the search bar and hopefully you find us.
And here's an odd question for you, but for those not familiar, is there a specific starting point or a song you want them to go find first?
That's a good question. Yeah. Oh, man, you got me here. No, okay, so I would say 2 songs. Color Wheel, if you want to listen to, like, the quintessential Arch Echo, quintessential Arch Echo song. Color Wheel, and check out Stella. Stella is one of my personal favorites, so, those 2 I would say.
Okay, so those would be good jumping off points.
Most definitely, and you'll be jumping off and you'll realize, oh man, I made a mistake, let me start listening to another band.
Cool, funny.
Riina, you got anything else?
No, I'm good. It was so lovely chatting to you, Kris. That was Kris Richie.
Yeah, no, actually, I like the name Kris, so I'll go by Kris.
I like that. I really like that name too.
Yeah,
It's to me, yeah.
That is awesome, my friend. Thank you for taking the time. I'm glad we got to make it work out.
All right, man. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Good luck with your drive, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, be well, my friend.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.